Welcome to Get to the Hook. I am your co-host, Charles Latibeaudiere.
And I'm your co-host, Eric Colley.
And we have a third person joining us today. Drum roll. Taylor Swift.
Oh, she's
album that's coming out in... that's an old one. We used to use that one a long time ago on the show. Anyway, but yes, this week we are, of course, talking about the life of a showgirl, one in particular, that showgirl being Taylor Swift, and the album, which will be coming out, a little over a month and a half from now. And the question when she announced this album, how big can it be, right? I mean, after the rollout that she had for it, the 2-hour spectacle sitting there with Travis Kelce and his brother Jason talking about it, huge rollout, a lot of anticipation. In fact, earlier this week, there was a big countdown on Monday morning, which everyone got really excited about. It's up on our website for 3-hour countdown to some big announcement.
Is it going to be that she's headlining the halftime show at the Super Bowl? Right. Is it that she's getting married? Is she pregnant?
What is it going to be? What is it going to be?
Is it the lead single dropping?
No, it was simply that there is yet another version of the vinyl that you can purchase.
But this time it's sparkly, Charles, and a different color.
Hold on.
It was sparkly orange.
First one was sparkly orange.
Now it's sparkly purple.
The
Shiny Bug collection. And it sold out immediately.
Right. Suppose you had like 48 hours in order to purchase it, but it sold out within like an hour. So you're... you know what, out of luck if you were hoping to buy it tomorrow.
You were going to buy one? Oh.
How do I say this?
Charles is a closet
How do I
Swiftie.
say this? I'm not a closet Swiftie.
Out of the closet.
I'm out of the closet, or at least I was. And I'll explain why I joined the Swiftie ranks and left the Swiftie ranks in less than a week.
I don't think you can just leave. That's not how it works.
Oh, you're not allowed to just check out?
I don't think that's how it happens. That's,
I feel like I'm going to get a knock at my door tonight.
So obviously this album,
with the album,
it's going to be massive. Of course it's going to be massive. It's probably going to be the biggest album of the year, bigger than Morgan Wallen's record. It's just going to be huge.
So we should say, when we say it's going to be big, what exactly, what's the metric there? Are we talking about just raw sales?
Both.
Okay.
So...
sales, that includes downloads.
The question is, and this is not a hater question to any Swifties. I'm just genuinely curious about this. Like I said, the album's going to be the biggest album of the year. It's going to be massive. Can it possibly top what she did the last 2 years? Was the Eras Tour era, the Tortured Poets Department, all of that, was that her ceiling? Because to break down the numbers, purely by the numbers here.
Okay, give me the numbers before because I have a feeling about this album, but I'll get into it.
I think there's some reasons. Yeah. We'll get into them. Tortured Poets Department, all of her albums before that, or almost all of them, had opened with 1 million copies in the first week, and it was like, can she still do it, or how big can it be? That album opened with 2.6 million first-week units, the second biggest opening ever behind Adele's 25. That was 1.9 million in pure sales. That's just the vinyl, CDs, cassettes. 683,000 streaming equivalent units. It was the most streamed out, I think in a single week, it was the most streamed album in history. Of course, the Eras Tour that was going on at the time grossed over $2 billion, highest grossing concert tour of all time. And before any old fogies go, well, inflation, it also sold over 10 million tickets, the most tickets ever sold for a tour. I mean, the Eras Tour film that she released is the highest grossing concert film of all time.
It is?
It made $261 million globally. Oh. That's just in the box office. That's not counting streaming and rentals and all that kind of stuff. She had, in the personal life with Travis Kelce, all the headlines. She was the Person of the Year in Time magazine. Any one of those things is a giant career achievement.
Do all those things. How do you possibly
How could you? Now, I don't think this album will. That said, if you've learned anything about Taylor Swift, if you watch this stuff, you can never, ever count her out being bigger than she was before. Because think how big she was 5 years ago. So who would have thought she could get even bigger?
All of those things you just said, you're right. Like, I don't, you look at that, it's got to be daunting, especially for her also, to look at that and go did I just peak? Is that going to be it? And I think she is aware of that. Now, again, this is just, I'm coming at this with about 4 or 5 days of Swiftydom underneath my belt, and so maybe I might be a little off. But there's something to the fact that she did this whole album with Max Martin
There's
and
something
Shellback.
to that. Max Martin is Shellback. Max Martin is the most successful producer of all time. He's produced 25 #1 singles, written or co-written 27 of them. And I'm not just talking about some random hit songs here
Right.
and there. Britney Spears' Baby One More Time, all of Katy Perry's hits, Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. Some of the biggest songs of all
Right.
time are Max Martin, and a lot of Taylor Swift's hits. When
And
she went pop in 2012, her first #1 hit, We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, was a Max Martin production. One of her all-time biggest hits. Let's play a little bit of it because we have nothing from the new album to play yet. Got to play something. This is a Blank Space.
But I got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name.
I mean, Max
So,
Martin knows his way around a melody.
Those songs that she did with Max Martin, when people are out at a karaoke bar and someone's going to dare to do Taylor Swift, it's one of his songs.
It's Shake It Off,
that
Bad Blood.
Those are the, in other
Style,
words,
Wildest,
and
like,
so I think that she was aware that if I am going to, because look, Tortured Poets Society was actually, some fans didn't love it, right? No,
and it's been
actual Swifties will never say
no,
that.
of course not. But she's 5 years into the Jack Antonoff folky pop thing.
Right.
She
Folky
needs to
pop.
switch it
Now
up a bit.
she's going back. This is going to be straight pop,
Yeah.
right? This album is going to be straight pop. There's going to be multiple hits, probably multiple #1s, and actual #1s are like on Billboard, not just streaming somewhere on some platform. And I think she knew that, and I think that's why you do a straight pop album that's just going to be just bangers. It's 12, as Travis Kelce himself said, who is one of probably a handful of people who have actually heard the album.
And he's an objective critic.
Right, of course. Travis Kelce said, bangers, man. Nothing but bangers. So can she top all that?
I will maybe
Sales
in the
numbers, I
long
think
run.
she can.
There's one, at least for the opening week, there's one big strike against her, and she knows this. You look at the Tortured Poets department, partly why it had those huge streaming numbers. When they released the album, it was 17 tracks, and then a couple days in, still during that first week, they did the anthology, the complete version that had 31 songs on it. We did a whole episode on this about albums getting longer. It drives your streaming numbers up. For The Life of a Showgirl, there are only 12 songs on it. And she has said there will not be a deluxe with a bunch of bonus tracks.
Right.
It's not in that first
But
week.
I think instead what she's done is that's why there's so many different versions of vinyl. That's why
She did that with the other albums, too.
cassettes. That's why there's going to be this. There's going to be multiple CDs.
I'm not
probably. So all of those things sort of game
gonna
the
sell a
system,
lot.
though, right?
Yeah, but I don't think there's even,
Like
at least as of now, there aren't as many vinyl variants of this as there were of Tortured Poets department.
Well,
I could be wrong on that. Swiftie
we're
will let
less
me
than
know.
a week after her announcing the album, and she already dropped another version. So you don't think that
There
there's
could be
going to be
more.
another countdown
Could be.
within the next few weeks of another version, yet another version that you can buy?
I'm just
All those
sales
things
will
game
be
the system.
huge, but I think the streaming numbers will be lower just because if you go from 31 tracks to 12, it's just not going to get the same streaming numbers.
Here's the other factor that I think could help push her to, and I don't think she's going to break all those records. I think she's going to break some of them, because the other thing you have to remember is she did just do the most popular, most successful tour in history. And all I heard throughout that whole tour, there are the Swifties, of course, and then there's a whole army of new Swifties. She added to her fan base. She exponentially added to her fan base. So now, for all these new people in the fold, this is their first chance to support her in some ways. First chance to either stream the album nonstop or actually buy a vinyl or two. All those new people. So you already have the fan base that has gotten her the records that she has. Now tack on everybody else that she won over during the Eras tour.
True. I could see it being the third biggest opening of all time. I think it could do over 2 million in the first week, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That's still going to be less than Tortured Poets department. I'm not saying it's going to flop. Obviously, it's going to be massive. It's kind of, to me, like Michael Jackson going from Thriller to Bad. Bad had 5 #1 hits, sold 25 million copies around the world, one of the biggest albums of all time, but it wasn't bigger than Thriller. At a point, there's only
But this
so
album,
big you
the
can
difference
get.
is that Thriller was the better album than Bad. Thriller is a better album than Bad.
True.
And nobody thinks that Tortured as popular as it was, I think that was mostly driven by the tour at the time, and not so much by
Well, and that could be something else
because
that kind of
this album I think is going to be, at least pop wise, is going to be a better album.
Yeah, I think it'll be more hooks, but also a big part of Taylor Swift's appeal is her personal narrative and people being so invested in her personal life. Tortured Poets Department was her writing all these songs about Maddie Healy from the 1975 and their breakup.
Who doesn't want to hear "Ruin the Friendship"? I'm lined up right now to hear "Ruin the Friendship."
About Blake Lively, yeah.
About Blake Lively.
But the best thing,
plenty of storyline here.
I hope that song's not about that. I hope it's a full bait and switch because I will respect the hustle there.
That's true.
You got us. Because it's so obvious. That's such an on-the-nose title.
Right. And there's plenty of other narrative. I mean, she said she wrote this during the Eras tour when the whole romance with Travis was going on. So now,
yeah, but we've seen that for 2 years. Like they got so overexposed.
The romance, but you haven't heard her actually. Last week was the first time we heard her speak about it, and now you're going to hear her sing about it.
You know,
what I'm saying is, get on board, Eric. All right, you know what? If
I'm not on board.
If you want Swiftie membership, this is not the way to get in, man.
This is why people get annoyed with Swifties sometimes, because you can say all kinds of amazing things about her, but if you don't say enough amazing things about her, you're still a hater of some sort. I give her all the credit.
I'm getting a lot of hater. I'm getting a lot of hater vibes right now, Eric. That's all I'm saying.
You know, I was thinking about this album, and we've obviously none of us who aren't Travis Kelce have heard this album yet or any of it. We just know it's going to be poppy because it's Max Martin and Shellback. I was wondering, and this is purely just my speculation. We've never really seen, and this is going to sound kind of creepy, and I don't mean it that way. Bear with me for a second. We've never really seen like an overtly sexual, sensual Taylor Swift. Like when Janet Jackson went from Rhythm Nation to Janet, it's like, oh, okay. When Britney Spears went with her Britney album, which had "I'm a Slave for You" on it, she had been objectified in "Baby One More Time" as a schoolgirl. That was more of a creepy thing. I thought like "Slave for You" was her kind of embracing her own sexuality, and a lot of pop stars we've seen over the years do that. Taylor's never really done that.
She's never done it. But if you're looking at the album art is
her like there's cleavage. You never see that on a Taylor Swift album.
Also,
cover.
on the one that she just dropped this week, or at least the art for it, for the limited edition, there's half a butt cheek.
Yeah, she's like kind of on all fours. Yeah. And the other thing, "Life of a Showgirl" kind of implies like burlesque or that kind of thing too. And the title track features Sabrina Carpenter, who is wildly sexual. That's kind of her whole thing. So I'm curious. Maybe I don't know if that's
will that drive more numbers?
Could be.
Usually does.
If nothing else, people would be interested in it because Taylor's never presented herself as that.
Right.
And it would be interesting to see that because it's just another facet of everybody.
Just another way that she is reeling them in, ticking up the numbers, baby. Ticking up the numbers.
So you think it will be bigger?
I do. I actually think it will be. I agree with you. It may not open like first week bigger than Tortured Poets, but I think it will end up being bigger because there are going to be these hits that drive the album.
It feels like this could be like 1989, which was her biggest moment.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Right. Because I have all that knowledge of Swiftie. Okay,
so
here's the thing.
I have to hear this story. How did you become a week-long Swiftie?
For a week, I was in because
what drove you back out?
We don't hear that much from Taylor Swift, right? She doesn't do a lot of sit-down interviews, if any at all. And she doesn't need to. The reason she doesn't need to promote anything. It's big enough now that it just promotes itself. She just says, "Here's what I'm going to do," and they all show up.
And that drives interest in the music because the things you want to hear her talk about, she puts in her songs.
Right.
She doesn't do it on, like you said, she doesn't do interviews and talk shows.
Right.
And
so to sit and watch last week 2 hours of her just speaking, and honestly, Travis Kelce kudos to him, did a great job of sort of staying out of the way. He understood the mission that people were here in record numbers to watch their podcast, to hear from her, not so much from him. He didn't try to like speak over her or anything. And you really heard her talking about her process through the tour. You heard her talking about her process writing this album. You heard her talk about her life with Travis, which was really interesting. And I was one of the early skeptics, like, this thing they're both doing it for publicity. They came off so genuine and so
fun. They seemed fun. They seemed like a fun couple to hang out with.
Yes. I mean, look, there are certain things that he said that made me go, is this an act? Or is he really or is he really that much the jock? I don't know.
Because if you watch him before they were together, he was kind of the same way.
Yes, it's true. He was kind of that way. But it did make me go like, this is really cute, but is it going to last? But anyway, all that aside, I didn't walk away from it like hating on Taylor Swift. I didn't find her annoying as I was watching it. She just seemed like.
Did you think you would?
I did think I was going to think it. And she seemed kind of like, dare I say it, a cool chick. Just seemed really cool and not all that annoying as people tend to think maybe she is. And so I was like, all right, I'm all in. I also loved the fact that she was like, I didn't get the idea that she gets personally some enjoyment out of doing these Easter eggs. And she talked about planning things out, 9-10 months in advance, just so she can sort of drop these hints for the fans. But she does it because she knows the fans, the Swifties, eat this up. And so she's like, why wouldn't I give them what they want? And I got to respect that.
And it would be fun.
Yeah.
You had people hanging on every little thing you did.
Right.
In some ways, it would be annoying, but with the Swifties and her, it's all love.
Right. It's all
would
love.
Be fun
And
to do
like,
that.
I really got this symbiotic relationship she has with her fans. And that she gets enjoyment out of the fact that they're really loving this, looking into everything and every little, and I got a quick lesson in a lot of those Easter eggs, which has me now firmly believing that she will be doing the Super Bowl halftime show.
You had
everything is there.
You talked about this today. It was full corkboard and red yarn, and you were doing the whole thing.
It wasn't just my theory, but it wasn't my theory at all. I saw it was a TikTok thing. All right. Anyway. But it's all there. I mean, the talk about sourdough and the connection to the 49, where the 49ers play.
Sourdough Sam.
Because that's where the Super Bowl is going to be next year. The 47-second intro that Jason Kelce gave her. How does that one connect? It's 47 seconds, and it was the 47th stop on the Eras Tour was in that stadium where the Super Bowl is going to be played. You going to tell me that's a coincidence? Come on.
I would say
and another thing.
Nothing she does is coincidence.
And the 49ers, who we're not saying they're playing in the Super Bowl, but it's their stadium, add 4 and 9.
It's 13.
Through the looking glass,
Taylor's favorite number.
Yes.
It is the 47-second thing. I'm not, I'm not into all that kind of stuff. But it felt weird when she said it, because when Jason Kelce was introducing her on New Heights, and he did this big long build up for it and was like full.
Right. How did she know?
WWE ready to rumble kind of thing.
Why did she specifically say thanks for the 47-second intro? Why did she say that? Why did she have to point out to everyone that it was 47
a weird number
seconds?
To pull.
I mean, and I was looking at it, it's accurate, but why did she say it out loud?
Actually 47 seconds?
It actually is 47 seconds. And it was, I thought he was going to die.
So did she just guess and happen to get it exactly right? Did she tell him, I need a 47-second intro so I can tie it into the tour stuff?
Yes!
No, this is too many levels.
Yes.
This is Inception on top of Inception.
100%. And she said that she's been working, baking sourdough for about 60% of her life. That's a weird number to throw out there, except that Super Bowl 60 is what's coming up next year in February. So I don't know. Anyway, all that stuff.
I don't think the sad thing, oh God, it's infectious, because I don't think you're crazy. That all makes sense to me.
All of those things.
And that is, we talked about all those amazing achievements she had in her career just in the last 2 years, not to mention everything before that. The big thing she hasn't done is the halftime show.
And she has always said that she would only do it once she owned all of her music. Guess what she now has, people? She has all of her music. One more thing, Eric.
And this might be Travis, if Travis is in the Super Bowl again, could be his last one.
You know what season this is in the NFL for Travis?
13?
13th season. And if he's so his 13th season could be his last. He's into all this stuff now.
Of course. So let's.
And the NFL would love this, because now you have the added drama of, look, she's going to be there on Super Bowl Sunday. Is Travis going to be there? Now every single Chiefs game becomes that much more watchable. Everyone is watching. Everyone wants to see, are they going to make it to the Super Bowl? It's perfect drama. And she has a relationship with Jay-Z and Beyonce. Jay and Rock Nation produce the halftime show. And she has a new album that'll be out. I don't know what more people
bangers.
Want.
Because she couldn't have done the halftime show with Tortured Poets Department. Those songs wouldn't have translated well on that stage.
No. So she's going to do like 2 of the new songs, and then she'll do the classics, and then she's out of there. Now, all of that being said, I'm off the Swiftie train now.
So what happened?
I'm off.
That was so quick. And it wasn't even about the music. It was just about the New Heights podcast.
Monday morning.
Okay.
I was totally in with all the Swifties when I saw the countdown go up on her website. 3 hours. I was like, oh my God, what is this going to be? What is it going to be? And I literally,
it's like Christmas came early.
I took out my phone and I synced up or sunked up. I synced up a countdown on my phone to her countdown so that an alarm would go off on my phone and I would know that I would be in on the secret at the same time as the rest of the Swifties, just to make me feel like I was in on it. And then when I saw what it was, and by the way, this happened while we were on our live stream for TMZ Live, so you could see the disappointment in my face. It's just another version of that. And I'm not even knocking her for doing different versions. Like, I'm used to it now. But don't make a whole big 3-hour countdown and make us think it's something more.
That's why we talked about it, that speculation, and now you know there's these sparkle bug vinyl variants.
Just announce that you're doing it. Just say, hey, guess what, guys?
Nobody would care. It was the lead on our TV show today. If she had just
I'm not proud. I'm not proud of that. If she had just said,
here's 2 vinyl variants, nobody would have talked about it. When she puts that clock up and makes everybody pay attention, now we're talking about it.
Yep. Well, and now I'm off. That's it.
You'll be back.
I'm not a hater. I'm definitely not a hater. Not as much as Eric is, obviously. I think that's been clear throughout this entire episode.
And I probably like her music a whole lot more than you do.
That's possibly true as well. But
because none of your Swiftiedom had anything to do with the music. It was all about the Kelseys and her being likable.
I was at a karaoke party a couple weeks ago, and people were like begging me, like, come on, you got to go. And people all thought, because there were some people from work who were at this wedding, and they all thought I was definitely going to sing because I tend to do so at our holiday party.
Yeah.
When we have a live band, I usually get on stage with them and
I've seen it.
Act the fool. Well, I just didn't feel comfortable in the crowd. It's like, I don't really know anyone here, and they might be expecting something. So I didn't do anything. But when I was thinking about it, I was looking around the crowd, and I was like, if I do a Taylor Swift, they're not expecting it, and I would have them eating out of the palm.
Which one would you have done?
I'd shake it off.
That's too obvious.
But it's obvious. It's an obvious crowd pleaser. And that way you get everybody else singing along too. And it's not even about you. I just got to jump around a little bit. Shake it, whatever. But I'm fine. I could have done that. Bing, you knock it out. It was like 2:30, 3 minutes.
Then you can do the breakdown about this sick beat.
Oh, absolutely. What is it? How does it go? You could have been, well, you were worried about all the.
Go ahead.
I don't remember it. I don't know. But you could have been getting down to this sick beat.
I would have done it.
I don't know. Listen, I'm sorry I don't know that. But anyway, I'm off. That's it. I'm not on the train. I'm not a hater.
You'll be back.
I'm not a hater, but
when the album comes out and that banger, those banger songs hit, you'll be back.
If I were someone who were buying albums anymore, I'd probably buy it. But I'm not going to.
But you'll stream it.
I'll just stream it. No, I'll listen to it. I'll stream it.
And then you'll love it. And then you'll wind up getting the 11th vinyl variant.
I'm not going to lie. That could happen. I'm not gonna say never. Listen, I'm into the life of a showgirl. I've been to Vegas. What? Anyway, we gotta go.
You were part of the life of a showgirl, probably. Couple, maybe.
I don't know what. I don't know what you're insinuating, Eric, even though I do know what you're insinuating, and that's why we gotta go. And wait, no, before we go, we do have we did our Taylor part.
We did a non-Taylor thing,
but we have some non-Taylor news
before we
get into,
because Taylor hasn't announced a tour yet for this album,
and I don't think she's going to.
I don't know. It's
too. You can't.
She's got to be exhausted,
and you got to put some space between the eras. The immensity of what
a little blank space.
See,
everything's a Taylor
Swift. We're
gonna
get them. We're reeling them in.
But speaking of tours, Oasis,
yes,
of course, continuing their reunion tour. And you remember when they announced this tour, and we all thought this is never going to last. There's going to be some sort of physical fight, and one of the Gallaghers is going to get kicked off the tour or something.
Lo and behold, here we are.
So there has been a fight, an altercation at a tour, and Liam Gallagher has been banned. But that is not either of those things is not what you're thinking. So Oasis, when they do their shows, they usually close the show with probably, at least in America, after Wonderwall, their most famous song. You know this song. This is Champagne Supernova.
it's such a specific era. Like
It's a very specific era.
yeah.
That was a callback to another era.
Yes,
Very
exactly.
late 60s Beatles, in the mid
Mhm.
90s. That's now retro. I don't know. It's too many layers. But did you notice all the tambourine going on in that song?
Yes.
There's a tambourine. So when they do that live, and that's one of their big crowd pleasers, one of their most famous songs, Liam Gallagher plays the tambourine. And when the song is over, he throws that tambourine into the audience along with a pair of maracas that are tied together at the sticks, the
Right.
handles. So they were playing at Wembley Stadium in the UK, did that song, threw the tambourine and the maracas out. A woman caught the maracas and got attacked by dudes who wanted to take them from her. And she posted photos. She had big
These guys
bruises
wanted
on her legs.
maracas?
Yeah.
Sounds like a bad euphemism for something, but
You
no,
and your
they actually
showgirls.
wanted the maracas.
They like assaulted her for them. And so she posted photos. She had bruises on her thighs. And she's like, I don't even know how that happened. I think one of them had his knees into
Oh
my thighs.
God.
She had all these scrapes and cuts on her hand that she goes, I realized these were from my own fingernails because when she was holding the maracas, they drove her
Oh,
her fingers into her own hands enough to cut her.
what the
And she
hell is
said
wrong with
because the
people?
maracas were tied together, her finger was caught between them.
Caught in between the.
And she was like screaming at them, you're snapping my finger. You're going to break my finger.
The
They got
hell
that.
is
I think they
wrong with
broke them in
people?
half, the maracas, and took them. And these guys posted videos like, oh, we got some. Posted photos. She complained about it. She's like, it was a great show. This is nothing on Oasis, but just what is
Maybe-
wrong with people?
Right.
So when they performed their next show in Ireland, I believe, Liam Gallagher goes, well, I can't throw these things out in the audience anymore because you animals don't know how to behave yourselves.
Yeah.
And so
look
now
at-
he's been banned by venues from throwing
throwing
tambourines and
anything.
maracas into the crowd.
Yeah, because none of those venues want to end up on the wrong end of
No,
a lawsuit.
Because it could be a lot worse. I mean, the woman was physically injured. I'm not saying it wasn't bad, but
Yeah.
it could have been worse.
Yeah.
And this is what's wrong with the world. You can't have nice things.
This is exactly. You don't get. This is why you can't get new things because your kids don't know how to take care of it.
So this handful of dudes in the UK
Ruined it for everybody
ruined it
else.
for everybody. So no more tambourines, no more maracas.
Hey, just be happy that they're still together and they're actually finishing out the tour.
I know I
Apparently,
I didn't think this kind of thing was going to happen with the audience. I thought it was going to be between Noel and
You know
Liam
what?
Gallagher.
we just totally jinxed it.
Oh no.
We just, we
Yeah.
just totally jinxed it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gallagher's.
Noel's like, I want the tambourine tonight. And then backstage brawl.
Yeah, we didn't see that coming as
No.
the ban that would happen at
But
an Oasis tour.
That means can guitar players not throw picks out in the crowd anymore?
It does make you. It's
Because I always want one, but if you don't get it, you're like, well,
yeah,
cool
it's
for the
not
other
a big
person.
deal. And by the
No.
way, also, if you want some freaking maracas that badly, go buy some.
no, but you can't put those on eBay and say these are from the show.
I'm sure lots of people do.
Of course.
Sure, a lot of people do.
You probably have some bids on them right now. Or you're the one selling. I don't know. You're a shady dude sometimes.
No, I'm just saving my money for Swifties.
Yeah, for your
50
7
gear.
different vinyl variants. And it's also on sparkly orange cassette, by the way. So make sure you get that. I don't think that one sold out.
I'm dying to know what the sales numbers end up being on her cassettes.
I think she does like
Because-
6 figures, like maybe like 100,000, maybe a little bit, maybe 80,000.
Who has a cassette
You
player?
don't need it. How many? I know personally Swifties who buy variants of her albums and don't even have a record player.
They never play it. It's just that.
It's just a
I can't
have.
have it.
It's just a collectible.
I don't know if I can reach that level of Swifty-dom. I don't think
I
I'm
don't
going to
think
get
you
there.
should.
I don't think I'm going to get there.
Uh,
I'm just going to remain Swifty first class. I'm not going to get into
but when Stevie
bars.
Wonder puts out that sparkly variant of Songs in the Key of Life, you're going to be all over it. You're like, I don't think I would be against it.
You might have me. there.
Anyway,
All right. Well, that is going to do it for
we'll
these
come
two
back.
showgirls.
We'll come back in October and see how it does. Of course, we'll discuss it then,
Oh, absolutely.
and we'll hear the music then, which will be nice.
The numbers are going to be huge.
And I'm
Good.
curious to hear the songs. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it's going to be good stuff. That is going to do it for us this week, and we will see you next time on Get to the Hook.